Welcome to the IRS Whisperer Podcast. This podcast is designed for tax professionals with a spin toward IRS representation. My name is Henn, and I'm a CPA CTR. New episodes will drop weekly on Thursdays. Each week we'll be giving you exciting material to help the tax pro in their tax practice. That's assuming you can say exciting and taxes in the same sentence. On the IRS Whisperer Podcast, each episode will cover 3 different areas of a tax practice. We will present the marketing moment, which will cover various topics in marketing or sales to help you generate more clients and revenue in your business. The world of practice management will give you suggestions on how to better run your tax practice. And we will also cover our technical time that will cover some of the latest changes or tips, tricks to help you in handling your IRS representation cases. So I'm so glad you are here and hope you enjoy the show. Now, on to today's episode. Welcome to today's show. Henn, CPA CTR here, coming to you from a live location out here. I'm in Cocoa, Florida, by the Indian River here, and I live in a beautiful place. And today's topic, I want to talk about being the go-to person in your market for representation. Again, representation is collections and exam work. So how do you end up doing that? And there's many different ways. In fact, I was just having a conversation with I'll call him a kid, 30-something-year-old guy that friends with my daughter, gone to church with him, and he is switching careers. He is leaving. He's been a professional painter and done that well, and he's finally done with that. And he decides that he wants to become a financial advisor. So I approached talking to him saying that, what would I tell myself if I were talking to my 30-year-old self? And so when you look at this from the representation perspective, if I were to talk to you and say, hey, if you're young enough, or even if you're not and you're as old as I am and you're just wanting to get into this, it's not too late. There's plenty of time to establish yourself as the expert, even if you're 70 years old. If you want to keep working, there's plenty of time, okay? Until God calls you home and tells you that he wants you there instead of here, then there's always plenty of time. So here are some things that you should consider when you are looking at taking on IRS representation as part of your practice. Now, first, let me address why. The first thing why you should handle representation, because if you do tax prep like I had done for 30 years, then representation is just a natural fit for what you do as a tax preparation professional. Consider it. Think about it. You prepare tax returns, you do the bookkeeping, you do payroll, any or all of those things. You do the business, you do the individual. Chances are you also do planning, you do tax planning, you do some tax consulting, you do expense reduction management, you do retirement planning, you do a bunch of other different things. Why not offer IRS collections representation, offer exam representation? And here's why. Because your clients get notices, okay? Most of the notices that they get, think about the document matching notices. You get the correspondence, hey, we need further documentation in regards to the information that you're providing, or you submitted on your tax return. Those are all on the exam side of the house. And then when your client owes money, the first question you should be asking them is, do you have the ability to pay the amount that's due on this tax return? And definitely, you should ask that of everybody, but especially those that you don't know that they have the wherewithal to pay that all in once. Okay, so right there, you can then roll into helping them getting into collections representation right there. So there's opportunities because keep in mind, your client gets notices. Those are outside the scope of your engagement letter. And if you use engagement letters, read your engagement letter. It basically should say, if you've gotten this from your professional liability insurance or from any other source, it should say that once the tax return is delivered, that is the end of the scope of the service. So therefore, and it should even say that it does not include representation of any kind. So anything outside of that is something extra that takes your time, you should bill for. Okay, now, how do we go about doing this? The first thing you should do is market this to your existing clients. Send them a letter, send them an email. Anybody that comes into the office and has a conversation with you or any of your staff member, then they should tell them, hey, did you know that we do this kind of service? and they should just probably rotate that around and let people know. But you should send everybody a letter, remind them probably once a year at least that you handle these types of services, and frame it that, hey, we offer this service if you know anybody, because then what happens is if it's them, then they will come forward and say, hey, I saw that you offered this service. I can't pay my tax bill, or I offer this service and I've gotten this notice. So then have them help them deal with it at that point in time. Then secondarily, you should look at then reaching out to other professionals. So anybody else that's in your network, you've got financial advisors, you've got bookkeepers, you got payroll providers, you've got all kinds of different people that you are providing or having networking, elbowing, rubbing your elbows with, the people that you go to church with. Come up with your elevator speech and let them know the types of things that you do. And don't talk of them necessarily in terms of features, that laundry list of I prepare business individual tax returns. I help give taxpayers peace of mind by dealing with the IRS on their behalf. Something to that effect. Okay, that has more power, more meaning when you provide those types of things. Additionally, consider doing things like video, putting yourself out there on video, creating a YouTube channel, getting out there, maybe working to try and get your account monetized where you can actually earn some money based on the videos you're putting out there. 1, 2, write a book. Writing a book is probably one of the best ways to get yourself out there. I have 3 to my name. Actually, technically I have more, but I count 3 that are more written by me. And then consider doing a podcast, doing a blog, doing social media, doing all of these things that help you get out there, that will provide that awareness that you're there. And it's amazing how that being in front of the camera, being in front of people, that you got to keep that top of mind awareness. The acronym for that is TOMA, top of mind awareness. And establish yourself as the expert. Additional ways that you can do this: providing webinars, speaking in front of groups, doing anything that you can to try and be in front of the people. Even if it's small groups, the smaller the groups, you do well enough, they turn into bigger groups, and eventually into bigger groups. I just spoke the last couple of months for the Florida Institute of CPAs, talking on some tax topics. And I spoke in front of 250 people. I spoke in front of 100 people. You get those opportunities to speak in front of bigger groups, and it will turn into money. Okay? So hopefully this topic was helpful and something that you can use in your practice, something that will help you grow. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help you. And if you've got a topic you'd like to see on the show, feel free to reach out to me and let me know. So hope you have a great day, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you for listening to our show. We hope you received some valuable information to help you in your tax practice. The IRS Whisperer is sponsored by the Tax Resolution Academy. If you have any questions you'd like to see addressed on the show, or comments to help us make it better, please reach out to us on social media. Follow us or download our shows on your favorite podcast app. Tune in to our next episode, where we'll give you some more exciting information to help you grow your practice.